What do people need to know about the Indiana Fever?
That we're taking over the world.
This clip is part of the Indiana Fever's new marketing campaign, a strategy the WNBA should have adopted years ago. Let me explain. Right now, the Fever are the most talked about team in basketball, and it's all because of Caitlin Clark. She has completely changed the culture, energy, and excitement surrounding women's basketball. She's brought everything the WNBA has always hoped for: huge fan interest, media coverage, and, most importantly, revenue. But instead of welcoming this moment and building on it, the league has, unsurprisingly, dropped the ball. Throughout Caitlin Clark's rookie season, players, media, and even team owners took shots at her, and her fans didn't have it any easier. The millions of new supporters who are actually helping raise salaries for all WNBA players were told they were watching for the wrong reasons. That was a huge mistake. But the Indiana Fever aren't making that mistake. They're fully embracing the buzz. They're riding the momentum and positioning themselves not just as the WNBA's top team, but as a global brand ready to shine on the world stage. Meanwhile, the WNBA seems stuck, caught off guard, and unsure how to respond. Since their big free agency haul, the team's 41 nationally televised games, and a sold-out preseason match, we've seen a shift. More legends of the game, and even active players, are now speaking up and giving Caitlin the credit she deserves. With training camp now in full swing, and the Fever's new lineup showing strong chemistry and skill on the court, 2025 is shaping up to be a season of major turnarounds. Expect a lot of people to walk back their earlier criticism. Now let's dive into the new marketing campaign, the excitement coming out of training camp, and everything building toward what could be a historic season. But first, hit that like button if you think the Fever are more than just America's team. They're the world's team.
Caitlin has single-handedly transformed the culture, excitement, and energy around the women's game. It's everything the WNBA dreamed of: fans, media attention, and ultimately, cash. But instead of embracing it and leaning in, they, of course, fumbled it.
Just a few years ago, no one would have believed you if you said a WNBA team could rival an NBA team in popularity. Honestly, most people couldn't even name a single WNBA team back then, and that's just the truth. But now, the buzz around the Indiana Fever is off the charts. Leading the charge is none other than our creatine-powered superstar, Caitlin Clark.
WNBA and women's basketball begging for attention for decades. They have gotten an opportunity, the likes of which we haven't seen. Caitlin Clark is a comet streaking across the night sky, and instead of embracing her star power, you know what they've done? They have decided they would rather be a tiny league that is getting a fraction of the attention it otherwise should be.
Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's Big Bang moment. She's one of the most marketable athletes on the planet right now. She ranks second in NBA jersey sales. Yes, ahead of both LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Let that sink in for a second. That's how huge her impact really is. And thanks to her record-breaking rookie season, where she shattered an incredible 62 records, the Fever's front office knew they couldn't afford to take things slow. It was time to go all in. Their first move? Bringing back Stephanie White, one of the most respected names in basketball, as the new head coach. She replaced Christy Sides and brought with her a Hall of Fame-worthy resume. The Fever wanted an elite coach for their elite player, and they got one. With the powerful combo of Caitlin and Coach White, plus stars like Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston still in the mix, Indiana suddenly became the top landing spot for WNBA free agents.
The Fever are a can't-get-enough global brand, arguably on par with the Lakers.
Dawana, Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Sydney Colson all jumped on board the Fever train. These are seasoned veterans, champions, and proven leaders, something the team, by Caitlin's own admission, lacked last season. Add in the toughness and edge of Sophie Sandpaper Cunningham, and now you've got a powerhouse roster. Many are already predicting that this team has what it takes to make a serious run at the championship. And with that, the hype only grew stronger.
Clark. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Boy, Enrique gave it to
But Cowan, who couldn't finish, behind the back again for Clark, give her another assist and a chance for a three.
Fans are traveling from around the world just to see the Fever in action. The team has quickly grown into an international brand. This is the same kind of global impact Michael Jordan once had on the NBA.
So, the Indiana Fever are America's team. We already knew that. You already knew that. Whether you're watching and don't like that, you have to admit to yourself that that's true.
There is no question about it.
The wild part is, the WNBA still hasn't fully embraced this moment. In fact, many players and media figures have pushed back against it. Instead of celebrating the rise of Caitlin Clark, they've tried to downplay it, ignoring everything she's achieved both on and off the court. It's a strange situation, especially when athletes outside the WNBA have had no issue showing her the respect she deserves.
According to Sports Pro, Caitlin Clark is the 4th most marketable athlete in the world.
What's even more puzzling is how some people keep pushing the narrative that Caitlin Clark's popularity is only because of her race. The level of gaslighting has been unreal. They're trying to make fans second-guess what they're clearly witnessing with their own eyes, and what they're seeing is the full package. Hit back Bentley, the rebound. Here comes Clark, bouncing to Beal, who lays it in. Caitlin is the real deal. She's talented, calm under pressure, easy to root for, and a natural leader. It's not just one quality, it's the combination of everything she brings to the game. She has the skill, presence, and star power that people are naturally drawn to. That's why she's filling arenas and breaking viewership records, and the crazy part? She's just getting started. Take a look at these training camp clips. She's already in mid-season form. She's threading impossible passes and sinking half-court shots like it's nothing. Her success isn't about privilege. It's the result of relentless work. Former Iowa coach Jan Jensen once said Caitlin has a Kobe Bryant-level work ethic and hunger to win. And clearly that hasn't changed now that she's a pro. Just listen to how Fever head coach Stephanie White describes her dedication.
He exploded the National Basketball Association. Magic and Larry elevated it, and Michael Jordan put a rocket up its.
Despite being an incredibly fierce competitor, Caitlin Clark still knows how to have fun along the way. You can see it in her style of play and how she connects with her teammates. She brings an infectious energy and joy to the court without even trying. She's fully aware of the pressure on her. Every move she makes is under a microscope, constantly being analyzed and critiqued. But you'd never know it by the way she carries herself. Calm, cool, and composed. Yet, despite everything Caitlin has accomplished, the hate keeps coming. Players and media continue to call her out, throw shade, and take jabs at the new fans she's brought into the league.
Do you see any comparisons in the way like she shoots to your people compared to the way you shoot? Do you see anything?
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. And then her just confidence. You can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair. Like, she's a performer.
This has been one of the biggest missteps for the league. And honestly, it's been a terrible look overall. It feels like jealousy, plain and simple. Tennis legend Serena Williams probably gave the best explanation for why Caitlin is facing so much hate.
Bentley the rebound. Here comes Clark. Bouncing to Bentley, who lays it in.
Instead of complaining, the league should be embracing this momentum and channeling the energy of the new fans. And that's exactly where the Indiana Fever have nailed it. Their new campaign, as you now know, is more than just about a team gearing up for a great season and a championship run. It's a movement. The Fever's campaign positions them as more than just a WNBA team. They're claiming a leadership role that the league and its players have yet to fully accept. According to the Fever's marketing team, the Now You Know campaign is all about how the Indiana Fever are rewriting the history of women's basketball. It's about creating a new narrative, one that redefines the culture of women's sports both in Indiana and around the world. And the key part here? The culture.
I've seen Caitlin play a lot, but what's it been like to just pick her brain? And also to your point about grace and competitiveness, she walks that line probably in a bigger spotlight than most people.
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, one of the things that, I
I knew about her from afar, but just seeing it on a daily basis is the way she works. I mean, we talk about work ethic a lot, but work style is another thing. And you know, she doesn't waste reps. You know, she literally does embody the how you do anything is how you do everything, whether it's a ball handling drill or a shooting drill or setting screens. I mean, she approaches it with such a discipline that she doesn't waste time. And I appreciate
The WNBA has been determined to hold on to the pre-Caitlin culture, where the league wasn't commercially successful, but there was more parity in terms of popularity. Before Caitlin, there were still popular players with the existing fan base, but once Caitlin emerged, new fans flocked to her, creating a huge imbalance. This is what the players and media couldn't handle. It was a blow to their egos. So, instead of embracing the change, they made excuses and insulted the new fans. But with this campaign, the Fever are doing the complete opposite. They're embracing the new fans, welcoming them with open arms and celebrating their support.
Maybe I'll start with you, Kels, because Lord Jesus, your team and their fans, Jesus, they be getting up in everybody's business.
New fans are sucking the f***ing life out of the WNBA right now. It's just the truth.
These fans aren't the problem. They are the future. They're the reason the league has a chance to reach a whole new level. And the Fever are making it crystal clear. Everyone is invited to join this journey.
What other people do, then if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do, basically. And hopefully she'll continue to do what she's doing.
The Fever are doing everything right, and now it feels like the league is scrambling to catch up. I don't know about you, but I've noticed a shift in tone. You can feel it. The players, the media, even the league itself, all seem to finally understand what's at stake.
From the court to the culture, we own the moment. We're not here to chase greatness. We're here to claim it.
A road game sound like home games because our fans don't ask for permission to dominate.
Cheryl Swoops is officially out as the Dallas Wings broadcast analyst. She's also no longer co-hosting the newly rebranded The Women's Hoops Show, which many saw as a platform for Caitlin Clark criticism last year. But it doesn't stop there. Cindy Brunson, who has also been vocal in her criticism of Caitlin Clark and the Fever organization, is no longer part of the Phoenix Mercury broadcasts. Now, I'm not saying the league had a hand in this, but it's definitely interesting that two so-called Caitlin critics are no longer receiving WNBA-sanctioned airtime.
What there was in the WNBA last year and the years prior, there was other storylines. There was joy. There was talk of competition.
The league may be a year behind, but you have to believe they've finally realized this simple truth. You cannot insult your best player, and you certainly cannot insult the fans who are filling your arenas, breaking viewership records, and putting your league on the global map. Caitlin Clark is the engine. Her fans are the fuel. The league's entire future depends on both. Lisa Leslie has been vocal about this, urging players to stop letting jealousy of Caitlin get in the way.
And I'll tell you what, the new fans are not all negative, nasty people. They're truly not. The new fans are truly fans of this league. And through Caitlin Clark and others, they have become fans of more than just one player, more than just two players. They have become fans of so many players and so many teams in this league. They have to be welcomed with open arms. We have to leave all of this stuff in last season. It has to be dead and buried.
And now, it seems the message has finally reached the players, because the praise is starting to pour in.
See this line here? And those who are new to the Fever. Not, oh, you know, you weren't here. You weren't here when we were winning 5 games in 2022. You weren't here when we were cutting Alana Smith, a freaking all-star level player. You weren't here when, you know, we were starting in the dark ages when we offered Katie Lou Samuelson that max contract. You probably don't even know who Tamika Catchings is. Doesn't matter. You know what? If these new fans stick, they'll learn about all.
The players who signed with the Fever this offseason understand exactly what's at stake. Of course, they're here to win. There's no doubt about that. But they also recognize a once-in-a-lifetime chance to reshape women's basketball for years to come. They have the opportunity to become the WNBA's equivalent of the Chicago Bulls, the team that takes the league global and cements
Cheryl Swoops. See you later.
Itself as a household name everywhere. If you thought last year's viewership records were insane, just wait for the Fever season opener. And don't even get me started on what's coming in the playoffs.
It's not good seeing people lose their jobs. However, if you're going against who is the biggest draw in the league, who is the biggest name in the league, as an employee of a team of the league, it's not going to work out well for you. Just like the podcast that Cheryl Swoops is on is now the other host. Yeah, Cheryl Swoops is still on a podcast, but no longer the one that's being promoted by the WNBA itself.
They may be a year behind.
Caitlin drew an astonishing 2.5 million viewers for her second WNBA playoff game. No other matchup came close after the Fever were eliminated by the Connecticut Sun. Back in college, her championship game against South Carolina pulled in 18.9 million viewers. By comparison, a typical WNBA Finals series averages just 1-2 million viewers. Now imagine if Caitlin leads the Fever all the way to the finals. Those numbers could easily hit 10 million or more. And that's before you factor in the merchandising. Boom. Just wait until Nike finally goes all in on the Clark Force, the Air Clarks, or whatever they decide to call her signature line. She's poised to have the best-selling apparel in women's sports history. I really hope she negotiated solid royalties into that reported $28 million Nike deal, because it's going to be massive.
Have you ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games? I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlin has said that even herself in certain interviews.
We've only just begun. Right now, there's one team the entire sports world can't stop talking about, the Indiana Fever. Their Now You Know campaign leans into that momentum. It lifts the players and their mission beyond mere X's and O's, celebrating the fans, both old and new, who are turning the WNBA's dreams of respect and financial success into reality. And even if the league has to grudgingly admit it, they'll end up backing this campaign because they simply won't have a choice. This is set to be the most transformative year in women's basketball history. The Fever get that. Now it's time for the rest of the WNBA to swallow their pride and join the ride, not fight it. If you're still here, drop me in the comments to say hi. Thanks for watching.